Hello everyone, this is Daniel, and I'm going to tell you why almost everyone is wrong about going to heaven. And quite unfortunately, there's two ways where people got wrong. And now there's still such thing as OSAS, but there's something that has to be involved with OSAS. I mean, it's not just believe and you're saved, but it's not works that you're saved. You see, if you just believe, even the demons believe. And you say, oh, that's just an excuse. No, that's actually not an excuse. This is actually just me telling you that there's a way to get to heaven that is actually in sound doctrine that people are not seeing. You see, salvation is very easy. It really is. It's just one step after another. But people are not seeing that it's also by these three things that you really have to see yourself through in this one instance. So people that say, oh, that they have to work their way to heaven, well, that's not even biblical. And you say then all you have to do is believe. That's practically biblical, but not enough. So if you just believe, yes, you will have a righteous heart. But if you just believe, your life will not be changed around. You will not be loving. Now, this is not being me being final call, something like that, who is always saying final call until you're saved, and no, you don't get saved. This is not just, things like believing you're saved automatically. Well, those that believe that Jesus died on the cross, well, they believe that Jesus died on the cross for their sins. That's basically not just by, it's not just that, it's something else. So, there's basically three steps, and very simple. Just admit that you're a sinner. I know it says that in the Bible somewhere. I know it does. And then there's also the commitment after belief. So what is a wedding? What is a vow all about in a wedding? Why do you say I do in a wedding? That makes you basically connected to your husband and wife forever until you die, and then forever when you're in heaven. Why is there a commitment like when you say I do? Well, this is real salvation right there. It's by believing that makes you righteous, but then there's also something that makes you saved. It is by truly calling Jesus Lord of all creation. Jesus, you're Lord. If you say that Jesus is your Lord, and just call out to Him and just call Jesus your Lord, it's the ABCs are right there. Admit that you're a sinner, believe in the true gospel, that Jesus died on the cross for all of your sins. Then by calling upon His one name, Jesus is your Lord. And that is true salvation right there. And if you do all that correctly, you'll have a changed heart. You'll love people more instead of having hate in your heart. You'll have your life will change around dramatically. I mean, within years. So if you're wondering, well, why isn't my life changed around? Well, it's because you didn't really call Jesus your Lord. You didn't really believe, or you didn't really admit you're a sinner. Guys, there's gotta be a middle ground, okay? It's not just by believing. It's not just by, doing these works, which is not even biblical. It's none of that. There's definitely a middle ground. And that middle ground is really, by calling Jesus your Lord. Because once you do that, He says, alright, you're ready. You're ready for me to come to you and basically rescue you from my judgment and wrath. He's saying that you're more like him when you call him your Lord, even though, I mean, wouldn't you call Jesus your Lord? He says, all right, I will accept that. And he makes his promises to everyone that calls him his Lord and who believes in him. It's really, just by knowing that you're a sinner. It's knowing that there's only one way to believe, and it's just believing that Jesus died on the cross for all of your sins. He shed his blood for all of us. And not by just doing that, it's also by, calling Jesus the Lord, and he's the Lord of all. Every knee shall bow down to him. Every knee shall bow down to him, It's not only that, it's Romans chapter 10 verses 9 through 10. Romans chapter 10 verses 9 through 10. And that's all you have to do. As a matter of fact, knowing that you're a sinner is very easy. Believing that Jesus died for all of your sins is very easy. Calling Jesus your Lord is even more easy. Even a child would understand that. If you taught him well, he would understand it even more thoroughly. And Jesus is who he says he is. He is pure love for humanity, but hate at all sin. But that doesn't mean that if you sin, you go to hell. Because once you basically call him your Lord, well, that just means, your sins are forgiven. And that's when you believe. Basically, when you believe, your sins are forgiven. But once you call Jesus your Lord, you're going to heaven no matter what. So, basically, this is what it's all about. The salvation. Admit you're a sinner. That leads to belief. Believe that Jesus took all of your sins away. That leads to salvation. And then basically calling Jesus your Lord of all creation and Lord of your life. That is your salvation. And not only that, you will be saved forever. For all eternity. There's no turning back anymore. And yes, there's a middle ground because, your life has changed. And if your life is not changed, basically, doubt your salvation. And that's all I have to say, okay? I'll be done now, okay? Bye.